Hey you! So today we're going to be looking at Bionic Joshi Kosei. And I have to say, when I saw this one, I was like, I have to have her because she looks so cool on the actual pictures. I was like, yeah, this is fine. So I really like this big open display as we normally see. It says here Figma 385 Armsnote. It has a name. If we move to the side, you can see that she's here. On the back, obviously you've got all the pictures that she comes with, so she can pose, her weapons, her different face, her accessories. On this side, I think is exactly the same. Is it exactly the same? Nope, it's different pose. On the top, different pose. On the bottom, exact same one. So there we go. And like that. So let's open this bad girl and have a look inside. So let's have a look. She is pretty cool, to be fair. I don't know if you can see, but we've got her, like her eyes, the hair kind of stands out. It looks very kind of default. We have her kind of bow linking it all in, and just on her breast here you see the two little pin stripes. It's very kind of roughly on her arms, and just here and here you can see that she's rolled her sleeves up. So I'm glad that they've put the kind of attention to detail. It also kind of sits nicely on top of the ball joint for the elbow. Her smile is one that's really cool. So yeah, let's continue on looking down. So as we come down to the kind of next part, we can see that her school blazer has like buttons going down, as well as her pockets. We can see more of the ruffle as well as the kind of end of the sleeves. I don't know the name of it, but I had really trouble thinking then. We see a skirt, it's got ruffles, it's got lines, and it's not just a normal plastic kind of thing. And obviously we can see the wrist joints just here to the hands, and yeah, it's not a bad looking figure. So now we come to, I think, one of the most interesting parts of the figure. This is what drew me to it straight away. I love the kind of mech kind of technology type look. You can see here by her like kind of upper thigh, you've got kind of armor plate, then you've got these kind of things that stick out. Now one thing I generally really didn't think of is like these things can move very, like they can move a bit. I'm not going to do, when I do the stress test, I'm not going to twizzle them all around because they look very kind of delicate. I don't particularly want them to break, but I really love the kind of the shin guards, the boots, the way that the wires come out. I think this looks really awesome. And normally for a figure, I noticed this with fig arts that you couldn't really do. Like with the Sailor Moon range, like if they have like kind of high heels, which we'll see on the back, they couldn't stand up, and this stands up kind of perfectly. I really like that. I really like the attention to detail that we get here, as well as like the kind of blue stroke purple elements on it. It kind of reminds me a lot of Black Lotus from Arceus World, and I just think this is absolutely awesome. As soon as I saw this, I had to actually get it straight away. Now, when we look at the back here, we can see that there's more kind of parts to it. The attention on it is absolutely fantastic. We can see that it's being like properly sculpted. You can see here in the light, you've got the kind of grey area, and then also here you've got the proper kind of high heels. Now, as I grab it so you can see, this is what I meant. You know, it's actually standing up properly. No, it doesn't, but it was standing up properly before, and I really like this element. I think this is actually kind of cool. I really like the fact that you can really see the attention that they've put in, as well as like here, they've kind of like made sure it's not just like stuck on, it actually looks like it's part of the body, and she's actually put it on to wear. Again, like when we look, say, at these things here, the small amount of detail just here is absolutely fantastic. For a figure like this, I'm very happy with it so far. Quickly looking at the back, there's not really much to tell. You've got the trim here, you've got the lines, you've got the ruffles, so it looks like she's wearing it. It's not just like a normal plastic and it looks shiny. It actually looks like she's properly wearing a jacket. With coming to the back of the hair, we see that it's all kind of ruffled. It actually looks like hair, kind of like shiny plastic at the top, smooth here. You've got kind of her earpiece, and then on this side you've got her clip in her hair, and it looks absolutely fine. Not a lot of detail there, but at least it looks like proper hair, and it actually works with the figure. But as we know, we do a kind of stress test on the figures. Now, I've said that I'm not going to be doing it on these things because I don't want them to kind of break off, because it would make me sad that the figure is broken. So let's have a look. So we can move that around like that, so that'll look absolutely fine, just like that, like so. The legs bend that, as you can see. Try not to get blurry. Like so. So the legs, the joints are fine. Just like that. The hands turn around like so. And that one there. Which is great articulation. Just as what I would expect from Figma. Now the body doesn't really kind of move around, but you can twist there, and the arms, like the arms will only go up to that far, which is a bit kind of annoying, but I'm guessing that's because of the joints. Arms go around like so, kind of squeaks a bit, but I'm guessing because it's brand new, straight out the box. So a bit harder to kind of do that, but you can twist the arm about. So it's kind of stiff around here, but it feels like now I'm going to have to adjust it back properly because I don't want it to snap. So like that. The head doesn't really go around a lot, but it does move up and down. But just like every single other Figma figure, let's have a look at what it's like taking off her face and replacing it with another one. So this is the one I kind of think looks kind of fun, like I'd like to go in there. I always blame the fact that it needs a bit of pressure for the first one. Yeah, so it kind of needs to properly be in there because they are brand new, so it takes a bit of time. So this is her kind of like, what? I really like these sorts of faces. I think it's kind of really cool because it gives kind of more of an impression, like, you know, shock value. I always love the anime, like, what? He's the main person? What? So let's take that one off and add in this one. So you either need to kind of take your time with it. Don't push it. Now this one took a while. I was very kind of worried about it because it wouldn't go in, but it also looks really kind of lopsided. So when we add the hair in, let's see what happens. Like, it looks absolutely fine that she's smiling, but that to me took a lot longer. When you look inside the kind of heads here, these are absolutely fine. But when you look at this one, which I'll quickly show you, you've got kind of like something in there that looks like it's stopping it or trying to slant it down. But it's a shame because it's a really nice like looking face, like a smiling face. But it looks a bit kind of weird. Like that fits in perfectly. And even like looking here, like it looks like it's slanted to some degree. But again, when you put the hair in, you can't really tell. Like, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, each one looks absolutely fine. Like the eyes are like a really nice kind of like they're printed on really nice. I really like the color and it kind of pops up. So I'm wondering why it's slightly slanted. Some of the accessories that you get with are like the guns. I think this is what kind of really like made an impression on me because I really like figures that come with guns because you can pose them in certain ways, or that you can like do stop motion with. So something like this really kind of like stood out. You get the kind of pistol with a silencer, and then you get different hands. Now one thing I noticed is like you get a normal set of hands with the Figma stuff like so, but you also got like a kind of like a second load of hands. So I don't know if the hands are meant to break, so you can kind of replace them. Now I didn't take all the accessories out of the box. Some of the other accessories that you get have all been kind of sellotaped in, which are a cell phone, some ammunition clips, some kind of like grenades, as well as like a silencer where my thumb is. So you get to see the stuff that way. I like the way that they're done, but also they can be kind of fidgety and then you can lose them. But just the way, I kind of really wish you had a serious face. Like, you've got that kind of like happy face. But again, I think like if you added a fourth one, which was a serious face, I think that would be kind of cool. Now I've attached her backpack to her, so you can see there's 2 extra holes to hold the grenades, which aren't on the other side. But I find that the bag's a little bit too low, or the hole's too high, where it looks like it's putting strain on the kind of like the the straps. This one's fine, but that one is kind of a little bit too much. So I'm going to take it out because I don't want it to break. But the accessories are fine. Like looking just at the detail on the gun, you know, you've got the greys, you've got the reds, and you can add the silencer at the end. So I think this is kind of really cool. If you're into like arms, like dealing with like different weaponry with Figma, then this is definitely the kind of figure for you. So there we go, Rangers. There is Bionic Joshi Kosei. She is a really nice figure. As soon as I saw her up for pre-order, I had to buy her because she looked a generally really nice figure. When you look at the boots, they are absolutely stunning. I think that they are possibly one of the best features of this. I really like the fact that you get the weaponry and some different faces. What I would have really liked is if her normal face was kind of more of a serious face, or if that was the fourth face, because I think that's what would make this a little bit better, because obviously with her weaponry it means that she could shoot stuff and she could be very kind of serious, but the rest of the faces are absolutely fine. Now I would recommend getting this figure if you're into the series. If you want to start collecting, I would get on this straight away. One thing I didn't particularly like that much was her kind of a bag, and the way that when you attach it, it looks like you could snap one of the straps, which I didn't kind of like, but most of it was absolutely fine. I think this is definitely a figure if you want to collect it, and it comes with a ton of accessories that I did want to show off, but I don't want them to keep falling out of the box. So you've got your grenades, you've got your mobile phone, you've got ammunition clips, you've also got a silencer for this gun here. But apart from that, it's a nice figure. I'd recommend it, and yeah, that is it. So if you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and consider subscribing. Check that notification bell if you want to leave a comment on if you're going to get this figure or not, or a comment, leave it down below. And why not check out all the other videos on the channel if you want to do it, because there's a ton of them and I hope you enjoy them. Anyway, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.